We are now recording the September 14th, 2018 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
And we have Mariette on the go. You were in your office, but you can't stay there very long, girlfriend.
Well, you know what? When I'm hanging out with my friends, I might as well do something else. I'm actually taking a walk around my office. You know, I'm getting some fresh air. It's a beautiful, look at this, Southern California. Look at how gorgeous.
Look at that.
Awesome.
Don't we have it good, Mariette? Isn't it amazing?
We did. I don't like to talk about it too much because, you know, it's pretty amazing.
We've got a storm here on the East Coast.
Exactly.
And we're praying Sara misses it. She's already had too many hits.
Yeah, the tops of the trees are looking a little weird. Oh, look at Ernest. Yeah.
That's right. It's beautiful, sunny here too.
Wow, it is. Nice.
You guys can't see the tops of the trees like I
Mine.
So Sarah, how many hurricanes have you
Yeah,
gone?
Linda's in California.
Many. Too many, Dennis.
Lost count?
I've evacuated too many. Hugo, the one that slammed Charleston, and back in, where was that? I had my 10th year high school reunion in Charlotte. So this thing was coming right for us. We boarded up my little house, and we're exhausted and everything. And I packed up I'd already gone out on my own, so it had to have been like maybe 89 or something. And that darn hurricane followed us right up on 95, right into Charlotte. We went into this big brick hotel. We had no cash, no gasoline, nothing. We were going to just get up in the morning and do it, right? In the middle of the night, it was so surreal. Looked out the window, and all the trees were completely bent over, and they had that kudzu stuff in North Carolina, the ivy-looking stuff that grows over. It was coming off in sheets, but you couldn't hear anything because we were in this big, brick hotel, and it was like, what?
Wow.
We were so exhausted. We were like out. We were trapped in Charlotte for 2 weeks.
I remember that.
You couldn't get cash. You couldn't get gasoline.
Wow.
You know what? And Savannah was fine, but I had an employee whose parents lived in Isle of Palms outside of Charleston. She said there wasn't even a stick. Their house was on the ocean, and there was just sand. There's nothing left. Absolutely.
Wow.
So when these things are coming for you, I take them very seriously.
Yeah, me too. I'm down in southern Florida, so I know exactly what you're saying. I remember one time when Jean came through, I think it was Jean or either Wilma. No, Jean. Yeah. We were at my mom's house. She lived upstairs. We had lost all power and everything, and my cousin was standing at the window. So I turned the flashlight on and looked at my cousin. Said, "Oh, Becky, turn the light off. The eye might see me." She said the eye might see her, and I'm like, "What?" She said the eye, and when I thought about what she was saying, I woke everybody in the house up laughing. I was like, "Girl, that doggone eye can't see you."
So I don't know. I don't understand the people that stay. And people that stay through a hurricane, they say they will never do it again.
Right.
And I tell you what, who on earth, unless you just absolutely can't afford it or you're sick or something, who on earth wants to stay in a house in this heat with no power?
Well, you know what? I think they're afraid of looters.
Looters. Now that's a whole nother angle, because one time they evacuated and the cops said that as soon as everybody pulled out of my sister's apartment complex, they just went and kicked in every door.
Oh.
Yeah, they wiped her out.
So out here see, fires.
No, but it's replaceable. Your life isn't.
Well, yeah.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So we're asking all that are in the path and that are affected and will be affected.
Exactly.
So it's not over. It's going to be a long weekend.
Yeah, for some it will be.
So Mariette, where are you?
We're going to start with Mariette. Mariette's going to show us, number one, how to share our screen on her phone in Zoom.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about the coolest LinkedIn app ever.
Yes. So actually, so two things. First, I'm going to stop walking, so that way I don't lose service. So let me find it. Let me find a shade though, because it's sunny California. I need to find a shade. So yes, I'm going to show you guys two things. First of all, because you all know who's watching, we use Zoom to meet up, and we can actually join through our mobiles and through our computers. And so what I want to do is I want to share my mobile screen with all of you, so I can share a tip I just learned at a LinkedIn workshop. I don't know if you guys all know, but Microsoft bought LinkedIn. And so now when you go to workshops, they're usually sponsored by Microsoft because Microsoft owns LinkedIn.
Did I know that?
Yes. Uh-huh.
They also
Did you know that?
So they haven't ruined it yet?
Yeah, Microsoft bought LinkedIn and lynda.com, yeah. They bought Lynda a couple years ago along with Microsoft. And so anyways, Microsoft bought LinkedIn and Lynda. So, so I'm going to show you guys now how I'm going to share my screen from my mobile as I'm on Zoom. And then I'm going to show you the best LinkedIn tip I've ever learned at a workshop. So I go to workshops all the time. And this one, honestly, was like worth the hour and a half I was there. And they taught it the first 5 minutes, but I still stayed for the rest of the hour and a half because I was so impressed by this tip. Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
Ready? Okay, here we go. All right, so let me first share my phone screen, and let's see, this worked a second ago, so hopefully it'll work again. Okay, hold on, share my phone screen. Do you guys see my phone screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. So I always have my social media in my social media folder, but guess what? I don't, because I was playing with it at the workshop. So there's my LinkedIn right there. So obviously you have to have the LinkedIn app on your mobile device. After you do that, when you're actually at a workshop or where you're at a conference or anywhere that you believe there's going to be a lot of LinkedIn connections, you can actually click on the very top of your screen. So do you see where it says 863 connections on my screen?
Right.
And then right next to it, it says Find Nearby. If I click on Find Nearby, what it's going to do, it's going to find everybody in the vicinity of where I'm at right now who's on LinkedIn, and it'll connect me to all those people.
Wow. Wow.
Isn't that, yeah, go ahead.
That is amazing.
Yeah, let me
Have to have the pay version for that, or you just still?
This is completely free, but you know why this was so powerful to me was because I always struggle because I get hits by people that want to connect with me like all day, like every day, and they're people like from all over the world, and sometimes they look sketchy, and so
And
I'm always
sometimes
really
all they're doing is pitching.
Yes, all they're doing is pitching. But what happened in this workshop today, the reason why the woman taught us that is because we were able to connect based on our location to everybody that was in the room. And there was like 150 people in the room.
Yeah,
Nice.
cool.
So everybody in the room, yeah, exactly, nearby. So that's the tip, guys. There you go. Nice and easy.
All right.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Now it automatically connects you with them? You don't have to accept an invitation or invite or anything?
Well, what happens actually is that it will tell you everybody that's in the room, and then people will start accepting you, and you'll start accepting them. So, oh yeah, you have to be on Discovery, but when you actually press it for the first time, it'll ask you, do you want to be located? Of course, it's not going to do it automatically. It's going to ask you, but obviously if the strategy is you want to be located so that way someone can become your connection.
So this is perfect as long as you announce it, tell everybody to get in Discovery mode.
Yes,
Mine says nearby members can only discover you when you're on this page. And then it says, where is everyone?
Right, so everybody near you. Right, so that's why I'm saying the strategy is to do it, like let's say you're, like I'm going to tell Seth to do it. I'll probably do it at QuickBooks Connect. I'm going to say, hey guys, you guys want to connect with me? Everybody take out your phones and click on Find Nearby, and everyone in that room will be able to connect with each other.
How near is near?
Awesome.
Nice.
How near is near?
Barter some work with a lady that.
You're talking about a room? You're talking about?
I'm in the, well, right now we were in a big room, like in a big conference room. I don't know how close it is, like if it has to be only like within a feet, vicinity, but I probably only want to connect with the few hundred in the room. I don't know if I want to connect with the thousands in the conference.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, is it somebody a mile away, or is that?
I'd have to look that up. It's a good question. I'll have to look it up. But I know that we were about 100 in the room, and in that 2 hours that I was there, I had 70 connections. That was
You do it over Zoom.
oh yeah, I know, right? Oh man. All right, guys, that's it. I'm done.
That's
Thank you, Mariette. That's awesome.
A really good one.
That's a perfect example of I use this app all the time and never noticed that.
Right.
Or never got curious enough to poke on it and go, what's this? Yeah.
Exactly. Me too. Same thing with me.
Nice.
You know, I started using LinkedIn when I was doing staffing for a time, and it's great because it connected me with a whole bunch of accounts because I was helping accountants find jobs. But it's just always seemed very marketing-esque. I mean, I guess it's good for like vendor sync, but for Parkway, it can be used. It's just not really what we do. Do you guys use it for business for also?
I used to use it like Facebook pages.
I did too when I was in the
They
group.
ruined
I was in Michelle Long's group,
They
and
ruined the
I
album.
would go in every day and read and respond, and I don't think I've done that. And
That's how I found Seth.
yeah, LinkedIn, you're right. That's right. LinkedIn was how I originally found Seth. And that was back when Google Plus was just coming out.
Somebody told me that they like got some hints, referrals or connections with prospects the moment he signed up for LinkedIn, And I said, well, what did you put on your page? But I don't know. There's so much out there to try to keep up with.
Oh yeah, they have Nextdoor now, Alignable.
Guess where I'm getting responses from?
Where?
Next door.
I don't know what I was doing in Yelp, but I don't know whether they found my address or something. So it's on my corporation and wanted to know if I owned it. And I thought, well, if it's going to show up, I bet, so I just populated it. Darn if every once in a while I get these emails of people that are usually looking for tax work. But I'm like, it's interesting. And there's hardly any accountants that have filled it out. So if they could do Accountant Savannah, there I am.
Nice. That's one way of being top of the list.
You never know.
Okay, well, we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk to Sara about OneNote. This is a continuation of Seth's meeting this morning and notebooks.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Peggy, you were curious about OneNote?
Hers look prettier than mine.
Well, here's the thing. OneNote. Okay, let me back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Wait, do we know when did Microsoft buy LinkedIn? I mean, is that current? Or is it long time?
About 6 months, I think.
Oh, so it's
It was
pretty current.
last year.
No, it's been quite a while.
Is it?
Last year.
Okay. Because
Well, that.
like I said this morning, people tend to be either in the Google world or an Apple Mac world or the Microsoft world, and usually the larger corporations, we're all going to be Microsoft or whatever, and then we try to get them all to play together. They don't always want to play together. So, I have favorite apps that that lean one way and lean the other. So, the Microsoft is getting very interesting because, you've gone to 365 and it comes with all these apps and all these features, yet they don't really make any effort, in my mind, to advertise them. It's like
They don't care. They don't need to. They only want to.
It's an arrogance. Yeah,
Microsoft's never been very good at marketing.
They've never been good at marketing,
and they've never been good at sharing.
Right, and they're not very good.
Or explaining their software.
Right.
So Microsoft actually just recently went more open source with all of their products, and because of that, you've seen a huge change in the quality of products and the features and the things that they're being able to offer right away. What Microsoft does that's kind of smart is they kind of watch to see what everybody likes, and then they make their own version of it. Like, Trello was one of them, and different ideas like that. So somebody woke the sleeping giant there, I think is a way to say it.
I think of him as this, Marcus mad when I call him this, but this dinosaur thing that lumbers along, and then they buy technology, and then they screw it up and kill it, and then they try something else, and it's not as flashy and easy as like the Google products and things like that. So I kept wanting to, go with the Google crowd. And Mark's like, look, I'm an IT director. I deal with this stuff all day long. I'm not learning two things. You're staying in Microsoft. And I've been fighting him.
He's behind you.
I know. And so,
family. Mark, we would like you to have your own laptop and your own microphone so we can hear you.
Oh, we figured out how to turn this puppy up. Anyway, hi,
Mark.
But I've been like, part of the problem with Microsoft is it's so freaking complex in some areas.
Yeah.
You got SharePoint and the OneDrive, then you got the OneDrive for business, and then you got the OneDrive for personal, but the personal's really on SharePoint. I mean, it's just like, and then the security settings are so detailed that you can get lost.
It's an enterprise system.
It's an enterprise system. That's right. So their focus has been on larger enterprise, not the little Joe Blow consumer, but see, I see all that moving. They're consolidating a lot of things. They are moving away from desktop. They're moving more into and that's why I wanted to bring this up, because OneNote right now, there's OneNote for desktop, there's OneNote, an app for Windows 10, there's the OneNote app on my iPad, there's a web. Oh, then there's just the web version, and they're all different.
But the ones that are mostly the same are the web version, the Windows 10 app, and the iPhone app.
I don't see it.
Right.
They're actually going to be killing the desktop app.
Yeah. Well, sounds like Intuit. So the thing is, and if you look at all the chatter and everything, the desktop version is so powerful compared to these online, so everybody's like, all right, they're not going to update it anymore. They're not going to put any more money in it, but it ain't going away for a while.
No,
until they migrate these features.
It won't be available in 2019, Office 2019, but it will be. It won't. When you install Office 2019, it will not uninstall Office 2016. There is a little caveat on there. If you don't use it, or if it's not used, it'll go away. I forget what it was,
but what's
okay, Sarah? We know that desktop is where it's at, right? We know desktop's the right place.
So if I show you something like all these, here. Anyway,
challenge with Microsoft.
If you have a 365 license, it's unreal all the different integrated programs that you get
depending
for
on your
free.
license. You've got an E3, which is an enterprise level license, so you get a lot of stuff with that. You get forms, you get Flow, you get
but OneNote's they opened up Teams for free, and and OneNote's always been for free. You didn't have to.
So is OneNote like Evernote?
Huh?
Is OneNote like Evernote?
No. Well, only in that you can. I call it a brain dump.
Brain dump.
Just get everything out of paper, out of your mind, put it somewhere, be able to find it, okay? But like Seth said this morning, is you end up with just thousands of notes. And if you don't tag them right or put them in the right, they have Notebook, an idea of a notebook, it can get overwhelming.
But the search capability in OneNote is pretty amazing.
Unreal.
So it's like, oh gosh, where did I file that?
Right.
You do a search for it, and it'll show you all the different notebooks and pages that time.
All right, so let me. All right. The reason I like the OneNote, not only is it integrated with so many different things, but I like the idea of, I'm very visual. So I envision a notebook. With sections and pages and subpages and subsections.
So
So
like these few boxes notebook you just put up there.
yes, a few boxes.
It's a what?
Q box.
She was noticing
We
feedback.
got at the convention.
So we got the convention. So anyway, we started a new notebook for like here's Penny for our hurricane. Okay, she gets
section.
her own section, and
Hey, Penny.
Yeah,
well she gets her own page.
home page.
Yes,
Sorry.
these are sections across the
For the
top.
evacuation.
Yeah. So let's see. Let me go into my
Oh, that's nice.
let me go into my. Okay, here's
It's
my
really
demo.
neat with Teams too.
All right. So my demo probably has more stuff in it. So I've been dumping all kinds of stuff in this one. And usually I have tabs all the way across the top. But notice this up here. They're called macro. There's a company called OneTastic. And this only works in desktop. Okay. There is an engineer that worked for Microsoft who wrote all these macros to use for OneNote. Now, why they don't just put stupid stuff in OneNote, but
it'll only work in the OneNote desktop.
it only works for desktop, and in the free version, you get 20 of them. I didn't know that, and I was like downloading. They were all so cool, and I ran out. But I think the whole full blown was like $15 lousy. So anyway, so one of them is like table of contents. So I can go table of contents for the entire notebook, update it, and now these are all hot links to all the pages and all the
I was wondering how you did that. That is awesome.
Isn't that cool? So then you can do crazy things like I can make a template for a page, and so I can just, if I get a phone call, I can just add a page, grab my template, and then I can grab all kinds of stuff like insert.
And Sarah, do you know you can embed this into Teams? Like you can actually take it and have it just as a tab in there. So for each client.
Yeah, and smart sheets and.
Yep.
And the other integrate. So now you're showing a phone call there, but say I have a meeting on my calendar, I can actually open up that meeting, and there'll be a little thing for taking or meeting notes, and it'll create a page for OneNote, and it'll show all the attendees. The day of the meeting, the title of the meeting.
Oh, look at that!
Nice.
Just opened up my meeting thing.
See, and it shows the participants, and then a place to take your notes. So
that's pretty cool.
Very neat, nice thing.
That's pretty cool.
So can I ask you a question real quick? Can you write notes in Rocketbook and then have them sent?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can actually, when someone calls on the phone, you can sit there with your pencil writing in the Rocketbook and then just snap a picture. It goes right in.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And there's things like what is it? Draw. Lasso. So I was gonna like lasso Seth, and then ink to text, and it.
Damn, did I do that out loud?
Isn't that cool? And then I was showing how you can drag and drop. You can send to OneNote. Like this one, I sent YouTube, and it does a screenshot and a link.
And embeds it.
Wow.
Everything you copy off of the web, it automatically puts the link right below it. So you get a reference to it, which is awesome.
There's a little Giphy,
How did you get your table of contents? Is what I'm gonna call
that
it.
That is the
to the left of the screen.
That is part of this. All
OneTastic.
these macro. It's called OneTastic.
That's awesome.
All
these. Right there, we say add a page. How did you get that to the left side of the screen?
Is yours someplace else? Oh, there's a setting.
Right hand side. I want it on the left. I like the left.
Yeah. Now, are you on the desktop?
Yes.
File, options. It was in the
Display would be.
Display. Yeah, page tabs on the left.
I wish you could use macros online.
So you have them like you're this?
Yeah, I'd rather have it on the left-hand side. I really do. I don't, because people read from left to right. I'm sorry, I do. Anyway, that's a good excuse, isn't it?
No, you're right. It looks better.
So where do you get the macros? They're already there.
Fantastic. Just go Google it.
Okay, Google Fantastic.
Now I'm confused. Hold on.
Spelled out ONETASTIC.
Yeah, something like that.
Wait, O-N-E-T-A-S-T-I-C, yeah.
One word, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't want to freak Sarah out. Okay.
Don't freak. Okay. So then let's see what else was I gonna show you. The Giphy. This one, oh yeah. So I've made little templates, just and there's like okay. So now here was an article that I had pushed to OneNote. You can, let's see, there were pages from, oh, I love the way it does PDFs. Like, if you want to add a PDF, you can tell it to do just the link, or just embed the little PDF, so you see the little title and the little PDF. Or you can say, insert all the pages. And so this was from, those were a couple pages from Rob Smith and Scaling New Heights. See, it looks like to me it looks like a binder.
Yeah, exactly.
The only challenge I ever had with it is when I would, if I use it to put information into, if there's any kind of formatting, if you copy and you paste it out, it can be kind of frustrating because you'll have like different sections of something.
Yeah.
It just makes it tough.
Yeah, there's because you know what it is? It's like a whiteboard.
Yeah.
So like you'll have let's see here. Well,
have you tried the new whiteboard with Microsoft yet?
Let's see. I was just playing with some of the templates that it comes with.
Come with it?
So now see, when I can just click anywhere on the page, and just start typing. And so it makes a container. See this container?
Oh, got it.
So what I'm still learning to do is, like you said, this, be able to, enter, So it's the one tastic that's giving us more stuff. Like you'll end up with just stuff all over the page, or you can have a template. Oh, I know what I was going to show you. Why I'm all over the place on a. Let's do insert a table.
That's nice.
Yeah. And then you can make headers, and I think I was doing.
It's a great way to make your.
Yeah, here's one I was doing this morning. I sort of made a table.
Great way to do what, Matthew?
Make an email signature. So I found if you're ever doing an email signature and you want to put like your logo above and you need spacing of stuff just right, and your name and everything below it, use a table format like that, and you can actually go in and delete certain lines. So you, like, in a sense, like merging two columns, you can really make an email signature look great and very
Yeah.
Well, I found an article that talks about doing your blogs in a OneNote, and it will and how it saves the formatting. But what was the other one I wanted to look at? Let's see here. Hold on. I mean, I've been dumping stuff in here. Let me take this off for a second.
So you don't need Wise Stamp anymore if you use OneNote.
More apps are always better than less apps.
Here's my household one. So we have personal ones and business ones and client ones, and so I had come up with the new master plan to redo the bathroom. And then phase 1, phase 2, and I mean, it does all the styles and headings. I mean, it has a lot of the Word Oh, you can embed an Excel schedule, and you can even see the Excel, and it'll make changes on the Excel, and it'll change the actual one. This was a table where I inserted the pictures in the table.
So, and you can have something like this as inventory of your whole house. So for insurance purposes, if
That would be a good idea.
comes and you have, well, let me get this picture. This is all the stuff in my house.
Well, basically, you could send them the binder.
I know what thing I was doing is I was on where's the cleaning?
Does this thing sync to the web?
Facebook, and I was on Facebook, and I was doing like, okay, so you can go add a page and then insert and then do a screen clipping. And so I was like just on the internet. I did a screen clipping. I could do a spreadsheet.
Wow.
You could start a new one. You could actually start a new spreadsheet.
Yeah.
You can do pictures. Oops, here comes the spreadsheet. I must have clicked it. Oh, look at there.
Hey guys, real quickly, wanted to introduce Casey. This is my software developer for vendor.
Hey, how are you? We're playing.
He's Mr. Microsoft guy also. He's got us on Azure actually for all the stuff that we're doing. So
Perfect.
Cool. I think Dennis was asking about whether it syncs or not, right?
Does it sync to the internet?
Yeah, well, it depends on where you create your your binder, your notebooks. Excuse me.
I mean, like say Evernote.
And really, that only affects you if you're using the desktop. So if you're using the desktop app, you have the option to create them locally, either on a network share or in your wherever you want on a local or on a local computer. Or you can create them and put them in OneDrive, or if you are working within a team, it can go on SharePoint and that kind of thing.
So you would upload it to OneDrive then?
Yeah, the new ones, the Windows 10, Windows Store app, the online and the iPad, those you can only create. Those are created online. Now, one feature again of the desktop is even online versions are it'll download them to the local machine if you want to, and then it'll sync it back up. It'll sync the changes back up. That's not available with any of the other.
Yeah, I would be just concerned, like say you took a lot of photos for your household inventory and then your hard drive gets fried or something.
Oh no, it's saved in the online thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, you could create if you created it locally, then that could be a problem. But if you created it in OneDrive or
See, this is where it gets I had to really study. You want to open it. You want a new notebook, and I have all these choices because I have my company SharePoint. I'm sharing a SharePoint with Ernest. I've got so it's
the Microsoft, like Microsoft has this whole Microsoft and then Microsoft for Business that is just completely dysfunctional and disconnected.
Yeah.
Bane of my existence almost. So I think that's the same idea. Like, don't they have OneNote and then OneNote for Business?
Yeah, but they also have personal. And then they call OneNote.
OneDrive. There's OneDrive and OneDrive for Business.
Yeah.
I think OneNote is the same, depending on what
Yes,
They must have these little fiefdoms that are competing with each other for this kind of stuff to be happening.
I just think you can tell that they're trying to.
It's getting better.
Bring it all in,
I think they're still a prisoner of the desktop world.
Right.
Did you buy the OneTastic Pro for $15?
I did the free one, and I think you can get 20 for free. And then if you actually want more.
20 macros up to 500 times you can execute them.
Oh, okay, yeah. But for $15, it was worth it. Oh, I know what was cool. You could do, you could be in a meeting and then just click on record, and it makes a WAV file.
Yep.
Or the video.
Wow, nice. Records the whole thing.
Yeah. And here are all these little templates. I've got some that I made myself. And then, we're going to take a history class. So these are little containers. You can design a page the way you want it and then save it as a template. So
that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
So you could actually structure that for blogs then. Like if you set up a template of doing your own blog articles, you could save you tons of time doing that. It's a really good idea.
I have a question. Is Sara Prevost's business called Mintage Labs, LLC?
Yes.
Okay, because I just got an invoice from her and I didn't know if it was real or not. Okay, it's for QuickBooks Connect.
Okay, yeah, and you'll see another one here in a second too.
Oh, okay. I was going to say call her. Oh, there she is.
Hey, Sara.
Hi.
Hey. We're playing around in some of my
I
notebooks.
hear Sarah's voice, but I'm not sure.
I'm so sorry I'm late, you guys. I was on with a client and we were.
It's all good. No worries.
Miss Lalo, this is off the chain. It's powerful.
License. Yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
but I've got and that the little web clipper is pretty cool. You can do the article or the whole website or a screenshot. But like Matthew said, they've got a version of Slack called Teams.
Well,
So
We run everything off of it.
yeah.
We run basically our whole company has been, ironically, we started to use it just a little bit here and there, and it's just merged into our whole workflow. We've got an outsourced company that we use called Analytics, which is phenomenal, great company. And we have our team that helps connect through Teams. I've got a new office assistant, Mary, that we're able to connect through all that stuff. And one of the things that's best about Teams is how much stuff you can embed into each channel. It's been
Nice.
I've embedded smart sheets in a team.
Yeah,
So I can do a team for every client. Now, have you shared with people outside your domain?
Finally, now that they've got it better. But yeah, actually, we actively do that all the time. So we have one, we call it Parkway Internal. So that's for all of our internal stuff. And each channel is a different client in that team. And then when we have for different clients, we create a different team for a client because that's outward facing. And there's different channels inside of that. We'll actually use it for workflow. We'll number the channel. And we can make it towards purchase orders received, bills received, so forth, because you get unique email addresses for each of those different channels.
Right.
And we can have all of their email being pulled in, and it starts by having it numbered, creates a workflow concept of where everything's organized.
And all the files are in OneDrive. It's all in the background, but it's all
in
OneDrive.
Teams, it's in SharePoint.
And
I'll
SharePoint.
complicate
Yeah.
things.
Oh, God.
It's Teams,
okay.
it's in SharePoint. Okay, and I keep going through this. OneDrive, you have to think of as, while you can share stuff out to people, OneDrive is your user directory, your personal user directory. You can make stuff available to people, but your network drive, your online network drive is SharePoint.
SharePoint
based.
Yeah,
Got it.
So that's the way, and that's where Teams creates that. It creates it as a SharePoint site, and that's where it's storing it under that SharePoint site.
Wow. That's pretty powerful. Way powerful.
Yes.
You can also map the drive then for each of the different teams. So we have it set up where as soon as you go into Teams, you go to the files, say you want to open in SharePoint, like you're saying, that's where it lives, and then you tell it to sync, and it will be synced back down to your desktop. So now if you really get crazy with it, use share file, connect your SharePoint with share file for your client docs, everything else. You can actually have access to all that stuff nice and organized. Start doing signature setup onto it. You can.
Wow. We're going to have to end this conversation because we're all out of time. I know it goes quickly, but Matt, you wanted to give us an update on LedgerSync?
Actually, it's a little secret bit of information about LedgerSync, not ours, but just something I know LedgerSync has got coming up to let everybody know. they've been doing a lot of integrations over the last couple months. So they're now doing like connections with ShareFile, with Smart Vault, Google Drive, all these different things. They've been working on a QuickBooks Online integration, and it's getting very, very, very close. They've also got the ability that they worked on the statements that they pull in, they can actually take them and turn them into QBO or CSV, and then you can take it, download it, put it into something else. But the QBO one's going to be pretty interesting to update check details inside QuickBooks Online. So probably still a short bit away, but it's coming pretty soon. Keep an eye for it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was just reading a message from Misha, who said that we need to keep her in our prayers. She has some family in some not so nice situations. There's gas explosions.
Around Boston.
Boy, that was terrible.
Mhm.
I'm about an hour from her.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
still on.
Prayers to Misha.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to end our show. If everyone wants to stick around afterwards, we certainly can. But I will see you all same time, same place next week.
See ya.
Bye.